Check it out, people. I picked up this sweet fan at the flea market. Let's see. Let's see if we can see anything. It's pretty dirty. Right? I think I might just leave it out in the rain or something. There's these nice people here that get cool old stuff like this sometimes. And she said, hey, you can take it over there and plug it in and see if it works. How y'all doing? Doing good. And she said, oh, you can take it over there and plug it in and see if it works. Like a Lakewood box fan wouldn't work. It's only 50 years old. Come on now, you don't have to plug in a Lakewood. What kind of, it's a Lakewood. Come on, people, it's a Lakewood. You don't have to plug them in. All right, folks, so before I take it inside, I've got to clean it up. This thing, it's got grease all over it. So if I take it inside and then turn it on, it's just gonna blow grease all over me. Can't do that. So I'm gonna take the covers off and just wipe the whole thing down on the inside and then see how clean I can get these grills. It looks like there's like, it's not real sticky or anything, but I guess it's just old. But I wanna clean it up before I take it in. So I'll take it apart and we'll see how nice I can wipe it down, and then we'll test it. Well, as you can see, folks, it's cleaning up pretty well. That's one pass, and that's untouched. So maybe I'll go another pass. Let's see how good I can get this side cleaned before I start on that side. I tried to take the blade off the fan. It seems like it wants to stay on there, so I'm just gonna leave it on there. Why break something that isn't broke? Or maybe it is broke. I haven't plugged it in yet. It might not work. Well, I'm gonna be mad if I clean it and then it don't. It'll be all right. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get through this. Okay, so actually that won't clean up any better because that's just where the paint's thin. They just, whenever they sprayed it, there's no paint there. So that's cool. All right, so I'm gonna keep cleaning. So it's getting much cleaner. The inside plate is clean other than the places where there's no paint. This bag has done a really good job of protecting the switch, and we're just gonna leave it alone. Why get water all over a switch? I'm using Clorox with bleach and lemon scent. Look, it kills bacteria and viruses. That's what we're trying to kill. So I'm cleaning it all up. We're getting there. Let me clean up the fan blades next. That should be easy. 4 of them clean, 1 of them still filthy. You can see the difference. I want nice, clean air blowing on me, not filthy air from someone else. That's dirt from somebody else's house. I want my own new dirt on here. None of the old dirt. It's got to go. All right, so not removing the blade. It may come off real easy, but it's not doing it easy. So I don't want to break it. I'm afraid I'll crack the hub. So I've taken a paintbrush, clean paintbrush, and kind of worked it down into 2 of these slots. And now I'm just spinning it around and using it as a brush to clean the front of the motor that I can't get to. And it seems like it's cleaning it off pretty well. I'm gonna get dust all over the floor though, so I might have to vacuum this up. All right, so I peeled the label off a little bit accidentally, so I glued it back down, a little glue stick. Okay, and then if you look really close, I'm sure you can do this without taking the back cover off, but it actually says, oil that away. So there is a little oil place there. There may be one on the front too, but I'm not sure. So this works good for motors. So 3-in-1 oil, there's a red can, which is really common, and then this blue can you can get if you look around. They have this at the hardware store. if you're watching this just for entertainment purposes, you don't really care about this. But if you're watching this because you're actually going to mess with one of these fans and you want to try to oil it, get some of this. This is good stuff for it. See how it actually says motor oil on it? So it's not like engine oil for your car. This is motor oil specifically for stuff like this. I actually keep this stuff around because it's just a little thicker weight than the red stuff, and you actually need it on a lot of things. I use it on jukeboxes and stuff like that. And if you look here, it says SAE 20. The one with the red label, the more common 3-in-1 oil, is SAE 10. So this is just a little bit thicker, which makes it better for motors. So I'm going to drop a little bit. Engineered for 1/4 horsepower motors or larger. I'm going to drop just a few drops in it. We'll see how it does. Whoop. So that filled it up. Let's try it again. Maybe that's 2 drops. Maybe that's 3 drops. I don't know. I don't know how much they want you to put, but you probably don't need a lot. You could probably get away with 1 drop. And who knows if it wants to go, I would suppose it goes that way. Let me think about it. If it went that way, let's see. I guess you can tell. If it went that way, I believe it goes this way. I do not see a date code on the motor. Sometimes they have a date code on the motor, but again, it might be on the front. So the only thing left to do is to try to clean up these grids and then try the thing out, see if it actually works. All right, folks, let's see if I was right at the flea market and you don't have to plug one of these in to test it. Wouldn't that be some crap if the thing didn't work? I can't remember what I paid for it. I didn't buy it today. The first part of the video was the day that I bought it, but it's been a couple weeks. I left it outside for a while because I didn't have time to clean it. Okay, so these grills on it are reversible. The one on the front will fit the back, and the one on the back will fit the front. They're exactly the same. So this one had a little boo-boo. So I put it on the back, and then I put the other one on the front. I believe we've got it off. Yeah, so let's plug it up and see if I blow every breaker in our secret office here. So far, no breaker blown. Everything seems cool. The switch must be working. All right, let's turn it on. So we are at off. Well, we're going to have to do high first, because if I turn it over to low, you'll know that it went to high. This is going to screw us all up. I was going to go low, medium, high. Here we go. It's high. It's going to blow crap all over me. You think there's anything in there for it to blow out? It's wonderful, people. You should feel it. I feel like it's 1985 again. Boy, she's quiet too, other than the air noise, which you want. You want a fan. You want the air noise to be really loud. It doesn't smell, the air doesn't smell. Wait a minute, what's that I smell? Yeah, that's 1985 air. I haven't smelled that in a long time. There's a little bit of smog. There's more cigarette smoke than normal. And the McDonald's French fries, they're still using beef grease in them. What a cool fan. Now, I know what you're thinking. Some of you are thinking, well, why would you do all that, Ronnie? Why would you clean up the fan? I don't know if it's is the microphone all screwed up? Let me check. If you look, there's a little bit of wobble in it. Or are there? Actually, I don't know. If you look, okay, so see how that looks like it's wobbling? I think maybe just the shaft has weird spot on it, because if you look at the concentric circles around it, they're not wobbling. You can see them really clearly. So the little circles around that, there's a it almost looks 3D printed, but this was before 3D printers. They're perfectly concentric. So I'm wondering if the shaft and if there's just like a little burr on the end of the shaft that makes it look like it's wobbling. If you look at, say, look at the edge of this part, if you look at it close, it doesn't look like it's got any kind of wobble in it. I don't know, maybe a little bit. But it doesn't really matter, it's working perfect. Perfect. So why would I do that? Why would I buy a used fan at the flea market, then clean it all up? And whenever you're done, it's kind of faded. See how it's yellowed a little bit? Took all that time to clean it. Why would I go through all that trouble? It's because this is unique, You can still buy a fan very similar to this at the store, but this is, I don't know, I just kind of, whenever I saw it sitting there, I thought, hey, I remember those. And the thing was still in pretty good shape. So it just kind of, these do not have souls or anything like that, of course. It's an inanimate object, but people built this, you know what I mean? Somebody took the time. When I took those screws off, there was somebody before me that put the screws in, and they took time and they traded their time to build a freaking fan. And they did a good job. It's a quality fan. Look, it's still working after 40 years probably. I imagine it's the early 80s. It's still working after all that time. So, whoever built it, they're not here to mess with it anymore. They probably retired a long time ago. So we can at least spend a little bit of time fixing something that they made up, help them out a little bit. I'm kind of like whoever built it on the factory line. I'm helping them get another 40 years out of it, maybe. So I don't know. It seems cool to me. And I like that it was made in the United States. That seems cool too, because that's gone. There's hardly, well, I don't want to say that. There are some things still made in the United States. I'll tell you about a couple of them. For one, these fans are still made in the United States. I know it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe, but I'll show you. And then two, I've been looking for a new mattress set, and there is a mattress factory right down the road, 4 or 5 miles down the road, the original mattress warehouse. Now I'm not cutting a promotional video for them. I don't know anything about them. Maybe their stuff sucks. I don't think it does. But they still make mattresses right here in Charlotte, and other places around the East Coast. So, there are still some things made in the United States. But, very cool. Let me see if Lakewood became Lasco. Let me look that up real quick. Okay, so if you go on Lasco's website, they list one box fan, which they call the Airflex 2-in-1 20-inch box fan and air purifier in one with 3 speeds, blah, blah, blah. So that's basically the more modern version of this same fan, but it has the air purifier. They want $70 for it. This is the only one they show on their website. However, I went to Home Depot. Let me show you what I found at Home Depot. On the shelf, they have these Lasco branded box fans. And if you look close, that are $25. If you look close, they're made in America, still. Made in the USA. Kind of. So, Lakewood went out of business, but Lasco is still holding on, and they're at least trying to make them in the United States. So it's kind of cool. All right, so I let it run about 30 minutes while I was doing some research. So Lakewood and Lasco are completely different companies. Lakewood went under about 2009. They went bankrupt. Lasco is still in business. I don't know if they've sold or what, but they are still in business. And I tried to date it. It doesn't have a Westinghouse motor. The Westinghouse motors, it looks like, have a date stamp on the top, which is how people are dating a lot of these. And from what I understand, this is the first generation blade for the K-Mart fans. And you can also tell by the see the way there's lines there? On the little bit later ones from like the early 80s, they had a little thing down here that said off, high, medium, low. This one with the lines is just a little bit older, but this is not the first one. So this is, the Westinghouse ones would have been mid 70s. And if it had that little, if the label was different, it would be early 80s. So this is probably 1977, 1978, something like that. But still works great. Oh, and apparently the people that are all into the fans, they love watching it spin down. So let's turn it off from high, and then we'll see how long it takes it to spin all the way down. Pretty cool. Yeah, that's well built. What a nice fan. I like that. Okay, so I have one more thing to show you. So like I said, I picked this up a couple weeks ago, but guess what I picked up yesterday? You're not going to believe it. Ain't she beautiful? Now this one I had to pay like $15 for. You know, this is more your collectible. This is more your collectible stuff here, people. That one, I don't remember what I paid for that. It was $5 or $10. I don't remember specifically. Let's see here. I haven't plugged this in or anything. I got this at an auction. An online auction. This may work or it may not work. This might be a project for another video if it doesn't work. But really, there's not much to them. From what I understand, though, it oscillates. I wonder if it... Is this sucker going to move on its own? That would be amazing. Is it just movable? Let's loosen this. See if we can tilt it forward a little bit. Boy, it's got a heavy motor. I'm sure this motor could use some oil too. It almost looks like there's some kind of looks like it moves on its own, people. That would be pretty cool. Now, how old is this thing? Half an amp, 115 volt. 60 cycle AC only. Knapp Monarch Company, St. Louis, USA. I know it's St. Louis. It's all right, people. I'm trying to be funny here. Come on now. Well, we're gonna let her rip, potato chip. Let her rip, tater chip. Yeah, we're just going to plug it up. Now, this is before my time. I never saw anything like this. But I saw it, but whenever I was a kid, we didn't have anything like this. One thing I was looking at, though. What's going on there? I ain't no genius, but that's pretty damn close to that bar. I don't know. I guess it ain't hitting it. Listen for metal hitting. It hit something. Is it gonna be all right like that? I guess it's all right like that. I guess that's one thing about metal blades, they bend. Yeah, one of them's bent all to hell, ain't it? So let's see if we can figure it out. So that one lines up there. That one is much more forward. That one is much more forward. That one is much more forward. And there's only 4 of them, so I guess what that means is this one's bent back a little bit. Look, this is scientific, people. I guess it's all right. All right, let's turn her on. I don't know about the wiring. I don't know if it's on, off, what's going on. We're about to find out. If it blows the fuse, it blows the fuse. Dead as hell. It's moving. Oh my God. That's incredible. I can't believe that. I have never seen anything like this before in my life. Now, I've seen oscillating fans, obviously, but I've never seen an old metal one that does it. Unbelievable. So I'm going to have to look up how to oil this one. Let's see if there's different speeds. No, just one speed. That's fine. This one's going to need some oil too, though. You know what I mean? So let's give it the whole thing so you can see what she's doing. I'm going to carefully reach around to the back so I don't lose any diggets. It says it's a Jack Frost, it says. That is incredible. You know what? I'll bet you can change how far it goes because it's just barely moving. Oh, don't cut my hand off, Mr. Fan. Mr. Jack Frost, please don't cut off my hand. Let's see if you can adjust how far it moves. Yep. You loosen this, and then you slide it to the end of that rod, and then tighten it back up, and it's going to go farther. What a brilliant freaking design. Wow, what a cool design. I have never seen that. I've probably seen them and just never paid any attention. I am amazed. What a cool design. I guess that's probably how the plastic ones work too, huh? The cheapos. Well, there you go, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. There's my foray into fans. I don't know much about them, but boy, I feel good now. Whew. And I got AC too. I got AC and I got fans. It's unbelievable. So I hope you enjoyed it. Do you know anything about these fans that you could tell me? How do I oil this one? I want to make sure this one lasts. This thing's old. I mean, that's probably 50s, maybe 40s. But I got to figure out how to oil that so it'll last a long time. Look at the little mech down there. That is so cool. All right, so leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you only watch our channel for arcade game jukebox pinball machine videos, I guess I should have mentioned that at the front of the video, but on the weekends sometimes I mess around and do some weird stuff like this. So I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your comments below like I mentioned. Make sure to check out my brother Donnie. He's my cohort, me, Donnie, and Joey. Donnie finds me stuff sometimes, and Joey finds me stuff sometimes. So don't blame just me, right? Some of these Donnie picked up, and some of this stuff Joey picked up. But I think these will be good additions to my little collection here. You know, I kind of like the cheaper ones. I don't really like the high-end stuff. I kind of like the lower-end stuff because that's what normal people buy, you know? So like this fan, this doesn't look like an expensive fan to me from when it came out, you know? This would have been what, you know, normal people buy. There's nothing wrong with being rich. But a lot of us ain't rich, you know what I mean? Hey, is that, look, it's not centered, is it? So maybe that's all bent down a little bit or something. That's why it's closer to the top than it is the bottom. Yeah, so I kind of like the less expensive ones. That's why I like some of these clocks. You know, some of them are expensive, but I like the ones that are kind of plain. It's just the ones I prefer. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Check out my brother Donnie's channel. The link is down below, and we will see you back here in a couple days with some more arcade game, pinball machine, and jukebox repair video.